What's good, YouTube? NBA rebuild. We're gonna talk about the Charlotte Hornets today, who they should draft, free agency, and who in trades they should make. Now, this team was a team that made the playoffs last year. They was close to making the playoffs this year. They got rid of some players, messed up their chemistry, had to add in new players. Kemba Walker got injured. Al Jefferson went down for a couple weeks. Uh, Lance Stevenson broke his pelvis bone and he went down for a couple weeks. This team just really been a mess and they've been a shell of themselves. Their defense was gone. They really just messed up big time. But the thing about this team, they in a bad situation to me. They looking like they're gonna get a top 10 pick. Look, they might get a 7 to 8 to 9 pick. The people they looking at right now in they draft, they looking at Mario Hinzanja, Stanley Johnson, Chris Stapps, Frank Kaminsky, Miles Turner, and Kevin Looney. Now, the thing about this team is that Al Jefferson is a free agent. He's their best player on the team. The thing is that he can leave. So this is going to be a huge thing. The best thing to do is try to re-sign him. He's a great player. He helped them make the playoffs. The thing is that keep Al Jefferson, give him as much money as he wants to stay. He's an all NBA player. He was injured this year, and Lance Stevenson was stealing a lot of his rebounds. Next, Lance Stevenson is the thing they got to figure out. How is they going to use Lance Stevenson? He cannot shoot off the dribble. He struggled with shoot shots off the dribble. He had horrible shot selection, and he cannot shoot the three to save his life. But the thing about Lance Stevenson, he has the same problem as the funny part about it. Him and Kemba Walker are basically the same player. Kemba Walker likes to over dribble, crossover, get fancy, and shoot mid-range jump shots, and he can't shoot. And he like to shoot threes, but Kemba Walker can't shoot. So the problem with the Charlotte Hornets is they backcourt. They got two players that like to over dribble and shoot. And they both ain't good shooters. They both volume shooters. So first they got to figure out how they going to develop their backcourt. They both young players. They both got high potential, but they both got a lot to learn. And they both got to develop a lot better. Kemba Walker, to me, hasn't really got that much better since he been in the league. Of course, he averaged 17 points a game, but look how many shots he's taking to get it. He's shooting 39% from the field, 40%. He's struggling to score. Same with Lance Stevenson. They both have horrible shot selection. So first, it's going to have to be the coach. He's going to have to find a way to utilize his backcourt to the best of his ability. He even put Lance Stevenson on the bench and put Gerald Henderson back in the starting lineup because Gerald Henderson is more of a player that knows his role and he does it well. So they signed Gerald Henderson to a long-term contract. But if they want to make the playoffs, they're going to get a lot more out of Kemba Walker. He's the second best player. He is not a good passer. He is not a pass-first point guard. He can take over games, but he can't shoot you out of games. And he is a clutch player, but look how many shots he missed to become clutch. So it's a give or take with Kemba Walker. He got to develop a lot better, and his jump shot still is kind of broken. He hasn't got that much better with his jump shot. Al Jefferson, lock him back up for 3 years. Give him a 3-year deal, $10 million a season, or at least $12 million a season for 3 years with a player option. Next, they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with their power forward situation. They drafted Cody Zeller at the number 4 position. That was a bust pick because he hasn't really panned out. They drafted Noah Vonleh with a top 10 pick. They didn't even really play him last year. He a defensive player and he a stretch forward, but he struggled his first year. So they got to develop Cody Zeller and Noah Vonleh. They drafted 2 power forwards and they both haven't panned out. Marvin Williams haven't really did his job. They overpaid him and he really hasn't did anything. Brian Roberts, Jason Maxill, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is another player. He another player that can't shoot. He can't shoot. Kemba can't shoot. Lance can't shoot. That really messes up your floor spacing. Marvin Williams not a knockdown shooter either. So this whole team has to go. Honestly, they cannot build this team the way it is. None of they perimeter players are an outside threat. None of them are consistently offensively scorers with shooting. Lance can't shoot. Kemba can't shoot. Marvin Williams can't shoot, knockdown shooter. Cody Zeller not a knockdown shooter. Noah Vonleh struggled in the NBA and Summer League with his shot. So they don't have no floor spacing and nobody that can knock down a shot consistently besides Al Jefferson. So they got to really, and Mo Williams. Gerald Henderson became a better shooter now. He used to be a bad shooter, but now he's a better shooter than he was. So they probably going to have to keep running Gerald Henderson at the 2. So I think the biggest thing for the Charlotte Hornets is to mix it up and shake it up. I think they need to trade some of these players for some draft picks. I think they need to go in full rebuild mode because the rebuild they doing, they have not put the right pieces together. I blame the general manager. Getting Lance Stevenson was not a good fit because they basically got another Kemba Walker. Getting Noah Vonleh and Cody Zeller at the position at lottery picks wasn't good picks. They didn't draft good. They still can develop and become better players, but they rarely even played Noah Vonleh this year. And Marvin Williams, they overpaid him, and he just an overpaid role player. So I think they need to either overpay some people in free agency this year, or they need to make some trades and rebuild this whole nucleus because this nucleus and the team they got together is made of mediocrity. This team ain't gonna be better than a 7 or 8 seed the way it's built. So anytime you got Lance Stevenson as your third best player, that's not a championship team because Roy Hibbert, Paul George is an all-star top 10 player. Roy Hibbert is a top 20 player back in the day, and he was an all-star. None of these players on this team is an all-star. Only all-NBA player they got was Al Jefferson. Everybody else is mediocre. So I think Michael Jordan need to blow this team up. The way it's built and the way they going, they are not on the right track to success. So I think for the Charlotte fans, honestly, I'm an analyst. I think they're going in the wrong direction with the talent they got and what they have on paper. They need to blow this all up, make some trades, sign some different people, and get some of these people out of here. But for the draft pick, I think they don't need no more power forwards. They need a whole lot, honestly. But if they get the 8th, 9th, or the 10th pick, I think Chris Tapps will be another Noah Vonleh and Cody Zeller. So I don't think they should go down that route. I don't think they should get Stanley Johnson either because he's basically the same thing. I think they should get Mario as a small forward that can score if they can get that pick because Michael Kidd-Gilchrist can't shoot. He can't score consistently unless he go into the paint or on fast break. They need Mario because he can shoot the 3, he can stretch out the floor, and he can score off the dribble or off screens. So I think the best pick for them is Mario Hezonja, you know, the guard for Croatia. I think Mario is the best pick for them, a guard that can come in and score multiple ways and shoot the ball. I think that'd be a good small forward for them, and I think he can even play the 2 guard sometimes. So I think that's the pick that I make if I was Charlotte. The free agents they should go for is 3-point shooters. They should go for 3-point shooters like Steve Novak, anybody that can shoot the 3, even Mizar Teletovic. They should go for them type of players that can stretch the floor out and knock down open threes. So that's the players I think they should go for, are 3-point shooters, re-sign Al Jefferson, trade some of their nucleus for better players or players that fit the offense better, and get some 3-point shooters and draft Mario if you can for a small forward that can come in and score instead of Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who ain't gonna fit because he can't score. Get Mario that can come in and score and shoot the ball, and that's gonna give him better floor spacing, and that way Al Jefferson can operate more in the post and kick out, and he can get more one-on-ones if he stays. And Kemba Walker can have more space to create his own shot and get to the paint because Mario can space the floor and a power forward can space the floor. It gives them more space to operate and get to the paint and find open shooters because then they can break down the defense and Al Jefferson can go one-on-one in the post. And if they double team him, he can kick out to the shooters. So I think they should work on getting 3-point shooters and a stretch 4, kind of like Channing Frye, or even just develop Cody Zeller or Noah Vonleh to be a good spot up, mid-range, pick and roll shooter. off the screens and be a stretch four. So that's what they need to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to check out my older videos. If you like my videos and you like my older videos, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out.